I'm so sick of the healthcare debate, and with Ryan Thompson shot, I'm just going to declare a position and bark it into the wind and everything. But all of you people who are against single payer are dumber than a bag of rocks. And here's why. It appears to me that most of you who are against it have never learned how to negotiate. Truly, you know. And see, I say this because what single payer would do ultimately is push all of America onto Medicare, which is effectively Medicare for all. That's the single payer position. In other language, we call it single payer. Sometimes we call it Medicare for all at others. And why this is a much superior system to the one that we have has to do with negotiation. Here's why. Drug prices are ridiculous, at least to the extent that you have drugs that are not, well, they're still under patent, so there's no generic alternatives to them and everything. They're just obscene a lot of the time, and, this is not necessarily the case for everything, but it's pretty goddamn high. And, if you think about this for even 5 minutes, what the effect of putting Medicare under putting the entire United States under Medicare would do is that it would make Medicare the only insurance company that's paying drug companies in order to supply America with drugs in the first place. Which, if you think about that from a deductive standpoint, that means that effectively the drug companies are negotiating with Medicare for the price of drugs that it wants to sell, but this is the only insurance company that's paying at all at that point. There are no private companies anymore. They're all gone and have been regulated out of existence, which means that Medicare is the only player left standing. And what this does, and it has the effect of doing, is giving Medicare extreme leverage in the negotiation, because the drug companies at that point are basically have a gun pointed straight at their head, and if that bullet goes into their head, what it means is they don't sell a single unit of their product to all of America, the entire United States, all 300 or 400, all 3 to 400 million people will not take a single dose of their drug if they don't take the price Medicare offers. At that point, what it means, effectively is that, if they want to sell their product to America at all, they're going to sell it to us at the price that America wants to pay. It gives Medicare the ability to set the price, and if the drug companies don't want to take it, then they get nothing. They don't sell to us at all. They'll have to find somebody else to hook that shit onto. It gives. So in negotiation, there's this concept called leverage. And what this does is it gives Medicare so much leverage that it might as well have a fucking black hole, a supermassive one, on its side, from not even light can escape. Nothing is getting out of it. So, its finger is on the scale so extremely that there's a fucking super massive black hole on one end of the scale. This is just, they're fucked. The drug companies are completely fucked at that point. They and this is why there's been such intense lobbying against Medicare for all and everything, because the drug companies are absolutely terrified of having to negotiate with the Medicare on steroids scenario, where Medicaid has all the leverage and they've got none. They don't want to be in that situation, and so they lobby intensely against it. But, their worst nightmare is our liberation. It brings about what kind of, healthcare scenario we want in America. So anything short of single-payer healthcare is woefully insufficient. I only support Medicare for all,
Anything else, I reject, and I will vote out of office.